You wake up one morning, and everything feels heavier. The dreams you once had now taste like regret. The mirror doesn't lie anymore. It reflects someone who traded time for approval, potential for survival, years for moments that never meant anything. There's a quiet panic rising inside you, a whisper that says, "This isn't the life you were supposed to live." But you silence it, because it's easier to scroll, to work, to laugh at jokes you don't find funny, to survive another day inside a life that doesn't feel like yours. Nietzsche once said, "Your second life begins the moment you realize you have only one." Most people never realize it. They live as if they are immortal, as if mistakes can be erased, as if dreams can be postponed indefinitely, as if apologies can fix decades of being absent from their own lives. You weren't taught to live. You were taught to obey, to follow paths already paved by dead hands, to sacrifice wonder for stability, to surrender dreams at the altar of survival. You were taught to mistake existing for living. But then, something happens. Something cracks the illusion. Maybe it's the loss of someone you thought would be there forever. Maybe it's a betrayal so deep that it cuts your identity loose. Maybe it's waking up one morning and realizing you don't recognize the person you've become. Whatever it is, it shatters the spell. And for the first time, you see the truth. You don't have forever. You have now. You have whatever breath is filling your lungs in this moment. You have this fragile, brutal, beautiful chance to exist fully before everything you love and everything you are disappears. And in that moment, something extraordinary happens. You're no longer scared of failure. You're terrified of wasting what's left. You stop asking for permission to be yourself. You stop apologizing for wanting more. You stop living for applause that won't matter. Once you're gone, you realize no one is coming to save you. No perfect moment is arriving. No final warning will be given. This is it. Your life is happening right now, whether you're ready or not. Nietzsche believed that life must be lived as if you wouldn't have to live the same life over and over again, infinitely. Every choice, every mistake, every regret, every wasted second. If you were forced to repeat today for eternity, would you scream in agony or whisper in gratitude? The terrifying beauty of life is that it demands your full presence without offering any guarantees. No guarantee of success, no guarantee of love, no guarantee of a second chance, only the guarantee of an ending. And yet, most people will spend more time decorating their graves than building their lives. You don't have to be most people. Your second life doesn't begin when you buy a new car, or change jobs, or move cities. It begins the moment you realize you have only one life, and that realization burns so deeply into your bones that you cannot go back to sleep. You start to live urgently, ferociously, gratefully. You start saying no to everything that shrinks you. You start saying yes to everything that ignites you. You begin to love with both hands, to forgive without bitterness, to dream without asking for permission. You stop waiting for a sign. You understand that you are the sign, that waking up was the miracle you were waiting for. And in that sacred realization, the realization that time is your greatest and most fragile possession, you are reborn, not as someone new, but as someone who finally decided to become real. Your second life doesn't erase the pain of the first. It honors it. It thanks it for the lessons. And then it lets it go. Because you can't live while dragging your coffin behind you. You have to let the dead things bury themselves and step forward, bruised, broken, imperfect, but finally alive. Because no matter how much time you think you have left, the only life that matters is the one you choose to live. Now, you are told to dream big, but you are punished the moment your dreams threaten the comfort of others. You are told you can become anything, but when you try, you are mocked, doubted, minimized. The world loves a dreamer, as long as the dream is small, safe, and quiet. Nietzsche saw this contradiction clearly. He saw that society isn't built to nourish greatness. It's built to manufacture obedience. He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow, Nietzsche wrote. But what he left unsaid was even darker. Most people never find their why. They live and die buried under everyone else's how. You are born into expectations. Study, work, marry, produce, consume, obey. You are fed the blueprint before you even know how to speak. And before you realize it, you have built a life you secretly resent. A life tailored to please the people who are never going to live it with you. You aren't living. You're performing. Every decision, every sacrifice, every muted dream, made not for yourself, but for an invisible panel of judges that you imagine watching your every move. You stay in jobs that decay your soul. You stay in relationships that hollow you out. You betray your own curiosity, your own fire, your own genius, all because someone, somewhere, might disapprove. And yet, the people you're killing yourself to please will not attend your funeral, wondering why you weren't happier. They will barely remember your dreams. Nietzsche believed that to live fully, you must be willing to endure isolation, to choose your own path, even if it means walking it alone. Because greatness demands exile. Authenticity demands rebellion. The tragedy is not that people die. The tragedy is that most people never live before they die. You can feel it around you. The quiet desperation, the silent regret, the way people laugh too loudly at jokes that don't reach their eyes, the way they brag about promotions that cost them their peace, the way they plan vacations like prison breaks, desperate for a week of breathing before returning to the suffocation they chose. This is what Nietzsche called the herd instinct, the mindless survival of those who fear the burden of thinking for themselves. It's safer to be accepted than to be free. It's easier to be praised for your compliance than to be punished for your authenticity. But there is a hidden cost. A soul that betrays itself to belong will rot from within. You can decorate your cage. You can paint it gold. You can pretend the bars are beautiful. But a cage is still a cage. Freedom is not comfortable. Freedom is not safe. Freedom demands that you become terrifyingly responsible for your own life. And that terror is what keeps most people asleep. They tell themselves, it's not the right time. Maybe next year. I'll chase my dreams after the kids grow up. I'll start living after I retire. But time doesn't negotiate. It doesn't wait. It doesn't pity your excuses. The day you realize you have only one life is the day you either wake up or remain in the dream until it devours you. Nietzsche warned that if you do not confront your mortality consciously, it will confront you through regret. And regret is not a clean wound. It festers. It consumes. It poisons every memory of what could have been. You might think you have time to delay, but look closer. How many years have already blurred past you without meaning? How many days have you lived on autopilot, doing what was expected, never asking if it was what you truly wanted? You don't lose your life all at once. You lose it in tiny, invisible betrayals. A day here, a decision there, a dream postponed until it decays into a memory of what you might have been. Nietzsche didn't just offer philosophy. He offered a mirror, not to flatter you, but to terrify you into action. Because terror wakes you up. You weren't meant to be comfortable. You weren't meant to be safe. You were meant to burn, with purpose, with vision, with a life so authentically yours that the thought of living anyone else's dream disgusts you. And yet, the question remains, what will you do now that you know? Now that the truth has found you? The unbearable, undeniable, beautiful truth that you are running out of time. Will you shrink back into numbness? Will you rationalize your stagnation? Will you apologize for being alive? Or will you begin your second life? The life you were meant to live before fear rewrote your script? The choice is not philosophical. It is immediate. Every second you delay is a second stolen by the herd. Every second you wait for permission is a second your soul decays. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be an ideal moment. There will never be a guarantee that you won't fail. There will only ever be now. And now demands your courage. You don't wake up one morning drowning in regret. It doesn't hit like a thunderstorm. It creeps like a slow, cold fog. A missed opportunity here. Maybe later, there. A conversation you were too scared to start. A dream you were too tired to chase. At first, it feels harmless. Life still looks the same. Bills are paid. Birthdays are celebrated. Vacations are planned. But beneath the surface, something begins to rot. You start smiling less, even when you're supposed to be happy. You start feeling emptier, even when you're surrounded by people. You start waking up heavier, carrying a sadness you can't explain. This is not depression. It's not sadness. It's the slow death of a life unlived. Regret doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't scream. It whispers. At night, and the world is quiet, it whispers, "You could have been more." And you try to silence it with distractions, scrolling, drinking, shopping, overworking. But no matter how loud the noise, the whisper grows. Because regret is not about what you did. It's about what you were too afraid to do. Nietzsche believed that regret is a form of self-betrayal, the slow realization that you have wasted the only miracle you were ever given, the miracle of existence. You will not regret your failures. You will not regret the risks you took that ended badly. You will regret the silence, the cowardice, the hours spent doubting when you should have been daring. You will regret the life you abandoned while pretending you had more time. Look around. How many people do you know who are already dead, even though their hearts are still beating? They exist in routines they hate. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny. They celebrate milestones they don't care about. They are alive biologically. But spiritually, they are graves that walk. And you feel it when you're near them. The heavy emptiness, the invisible sadness, the desperate attempts to distract themselves from the quiet horror of their own unlived lives. This is the fate Nietzsche warned against. Not death, not pain, but a life so disconnected from truth that it no longer feels alive. Every day you delay becoming who you were meant to be, you feed that death a little more. You hand over another piece of your soul to comfort, to fear, to mediocrity. And the tragedy is, most people will never even realize what they've lost until it's far too late. Because society teaches you to measure your life by numbers, your salary, your follower count, your possessions. But none of these things will hold your hand when regret starts devouring you at 3 a.m. None of these things will erase the echo of your unlived dreams. Only one thing will matter then. Did you live? Did you become what you were meant to become? Or did you die a quiet death long before your body gave out? You are not scared of dying. You are scared of dying without having lived. And that fear, if you are brave enough to feel it fully, can become your salvation. Because fear has two faces. Fear that paralyzes you, and fear that awakens you. Most people let fear chain them to small lives. But you have another choice. You can use that fear as fuel. Let it ignite you. Let it terrify you into movement. Let it remind you that you are running out of excuses. Nietzsche believed that life is for the courageous, for those willing to confront the unbearable truth of their mortality. And in that confrontation, find a reason to live so fiercely that death itself becomes irrelevant. So here you are, standing at the crossroads between existence and living. You can go back to sleep, numb yourself, pretend you have time, pretend you are happy, or you can choose the terror of waking up. You can choose to feel the weight of your unlived life pressing down on you, not to crush you, but to forge you into something unstoppable. You don't need more time. You need more courage. You don't need more motivation. You need more brutal honesty. You don't need more years. You need to stop wasting the ones you have. Because the silent collapse, the slow death of the soul through regret, is preventable. But only if you are willing to make a decision most people never make. To live. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not after it's convenient. Now, the death of your first life doesn't come with a funeral. No one mourns it. There are no tears. No goodbyes. It dies silently. The moment you realize that everything you were chasing was never yours to begin with. It dies when you stop trying to impress people who don't even know themselves. It dies when you stop apologizing for being different, difficult, real. It dies when you finally accept that the old you, the one who played small to survive, is never coming back. And in that silence, you are reborn, not into perfection, not into certainty, but into freedom. Your second life is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. It's not about being faster, richer, louder. It's about being truer. You will be misunderstood. You will be rejected. You will lose people you once thought you couldn't breathe without. But you will find yourself. And that is a trade worth making 1,000 times over. The world will not applaud you for choosing yourself. It will resent you, because every step you take into authenticity will remind them of the steps they were too afraid to take. You will threaten their comfort simply by existing freely. Let them be uncomfortable. You are not here to fit their mold. You are not here to make them feel better about staying small. You are here to burn, to blaze through your time with a fierceness that leaves no doubt that you were here, truly here. Nietzsche believed that the greatest sin is not suffering. It's mediocrity. It's a life half-lived, dreams half-dreamed, a soul half-awake. Your second life demands the full version of you, the one who dares, the one who speaks truth even when their voice shakes, the one who stands alone if necessary, rather than kneeling in a crowd. Living your second life will not be easy. There will be days when you question everything, days when fear feels louder than hope, days when it would be easier to go back to sleep. But remember this, pain is temporary, regret is eternal. You can heal from the wounds of risk. You cannot heal from the ache of never having tried. Every step you take into your second life will hurt, not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are shedding the skin of a life that was killing you softly. You will grieve the old you, the one who tolerated disrespect, the one who watered dead gardens, the one who apologized for shining. But you will rise, not because you are fearless, but because you finally understand that fear is not a reason to stop. It's a reason to run faster. If you knew you had only 1 year left, truly knew it, you would not waste another second playing small. You would stop explaining your worth. You would stop shrinking to be digestible. You would stop waiting for someone else to tell you that it's okay to live fully. You would live with urgency, with gratitude, with savage, unapologetic wonder. You would love the people who set your soul on fire. You would leave the places that made you forget your own name. You would chase the dreams that terrify you, because they are the only ones worth having. And you would not waste one more heartbeat asking permission. Your second life begins not when circumstances change, not when people change, not when the world finally understands you. It begins when you change, when you decide fully, fiercely, finally, that you are done surviving, that you are done existing, that you are ready to live, even if no one applauds you, even if no one follows you, even if no one understands you, because the first life was for them. The second life is for you. The question is not, will you be afraid? You will be. The question is, will you choose life anyway? Because if you don't, you will spend the rest of your existence haunted by the ghost of the life you could have lived. But if you do, if you choose to burn brightly, even for a moment, even if it costs you everything safe and familiar, you will die with nothing left inside you but gratitude. Gratitude that you didn't leave this world without ever showing it who you truly were. Final words to the viewer. Emotional closure. You have one life, one fragile, fleeting miracle. Stop rehearsing. Stop waiting. Stop surviving. Live. Right now. Right here. Without apology. Because your second life is waiting. And it begins the moment you stop pretending you have time. Before you go, ask yourself, If today was the only day you were guaranteed, would you still waste it pretending? If this video awakened something inside you, comment below. I'm ready to live my second life. Not tomorrow, not someday, today.